I'm Angie and I'm a horse yoga girl. This is the second beginner horse yoga video, so make sure that you have watched the first one and then go ahead and check out what you can do after practicing what I went over in the first video. So when you're coming to do yoga with your horse, again, you want to make sure that your horse is calm and relaxed before you get started. And remember to do that nice deep breathing. In the first video I talk about the 3-part breath or the yogic breath. So make sure that you're engaging that breath as you start to practice with your horse. So first we're going to actually come off of our seats for a pose that's a little more challenging, but if you've practiced some of the moves that I go over in the first video, then you and your horse should be pretty comfortable trying this one out. So make sure your horse is standing nice and balanced. You can have someone hold your horse if they don't seem ready to stand still, but you want to make sure that your horse is pretty relaxed so you can do groundwork with him and just make sure he's feeling good and not in any pain. And then when you're ready, you'll slowly make your way onto all fours, so onto your hands and your feet. You want to place your hands right underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. So take a moment, just take a couple breaths here, let your horse get balanced since you're in a kind of a weird position that they might not be used to. And then here, feel your tailbone reaching back and reach forward through the crown of your head. So you want to gaze down towards your horse's neck to keep a nice long spine. And then we're going to begin moving through some cat-cow. So this is a really great warm-up for the spine. As you inhale, begin to lift your tailbone and drop your belly. Reach your chest forward and lift your gaze up towards the sky. Roll your upper arms away from each other. As you exhale, tuck your tailbone, engage your core to press the air out, and drop your gaze towards your navel. Rounding your spine. Inhale, lift the tailbone, lift the gaze, reach the heart forward. And exhale, tuck the tailbone, engage the core, drop the gaze. So you can just move through a few of these, really moving with your breath, getting in tune with your breath, and syncing your movement to your breath. And then if you feel really nice and balanced here, you can take this pose to the next level by inhaling, lifting one leg straight out behind you. You may need to readjust a little bit to stay balanced. If this feels okay for you, you can bend that knee and reach around for your foot. Then gently press into your hand to get a stretch through that shoulder. And then practicing on the other side. So getting nice and balanced. If your core is strong, inhale, lift your other leg behind you. Try to keep your hips square here. Then maybe reaching the arm forward. And then you can reach back for that foot if that feels comfortable for you. And exhale, slowly lower back down. So once you've moved through that and maybe some cat-cow, spread your knees apart, sink your hips back towards your heels. You can reach your arms forward and come into a child's pose. So if you're wearing a helmet, it might be a little hard to rest on your forehead, but you can rest on your cheek instead. Resting for a few breaths on each side. If your horse walks away, that's okay. Sometimes your horse might feel a little tension in their body, so if they need to move around for a few steps, go ahead and let them do so. And that way, if they need to release some tension by moving around, you can let them do that. All right. So coming into your child's pose for a few breaths. Again, you can rest on one cheek and relax through your hips and your shoulders. Feel your tailbone reaching back. Just feel that nice long spine. And then you can make your way back up to your seat. This next exercise is a core strengthener. So core strength is really important for riding, no matter what discipline you're involved in. It's also really vital to your yoga practice, helping with inversions and float throughs, helping you stay strong in your standing poses and balance. So this exercise will help you strengthen that area. So we're basically just going to be doing sit-ups. So you want to try to keep your legs still as you move through these, and just use your core strength to move you forward and back. So as you inhale, you're going to begin to lie back, keep the core engaged here, keep pressing your low back into your horse's back. Maybe lift the arms behind you, lay your head all the way on your horse's hindquarters, and then begin to sit all the way up. As you exhale, reach forward between your horse's ears. Inhale, lie all the way back. And exhale, come all the way forward. Inhale, lie back. And exhale, come all the way forward. So you can do as many of those as you want to until you get a nice good workout for your abdomen. So next, we're going to do something a little different. We're going to sit backwards on the horse. So you can do that by bringing one leg in front of you across their withers. Sit sideways. Make sure you're balanced here. Take your time. And then you can take your other leg across their hindquarters so that you're facing backwards. Once you're comfortable here, you can extend your legs out onto your horse's hindquarters and place your hands by your hips to help you stay balanced. This is called staff pose or Dandasana. This is also a great pose to strengthen your core. So you want to sit up nice and tall, reaching the crown of your head up towards the sky and reaching your heart out and up as well. So you're nice and open through the chest. Let your shoulders relax down away from your ears. And then from here, if you feel comfortable, you can inhale and lift your arms up. And then exhale, keep that nice long spine as you begin to reach towards your feet. So you can take a few breaths there. That's seated forward fold or Paschimottanasana, and it's a really good stretch for the hamstrings and the lower back. As you stay in that seated forward fold, try to pull your belly button in towards your spine, and that'll create a little more space for you to fold forward. So after you work on seated forward fold for a few breaths, you can come into a horseback version of Pigeon. So what you'll do is you'll bring one leg across your horse's hips here. Make sure to keep that foot flexed, and that'll help protect your knee as you work on this pose. This is the horseback version of Pigeon. So begin by sitting up nice and tall, and this might be enough of a stretch for your hip. If you have really tight hips, just start out here sitting up nice and tall and staying with that deep breath. If you want to get more of a stretch, you can begin to fold forward. Again, keep the spine long, try not to round the back. You can begin to fold forward and get more of a stretch through that hip. So you can stay for 5 to 7 breaths or maybe longer. You can even hold it for a couple minutes if you really want to get deep into that hip muscle. And then repeat on the other side. Make sure to work both sides when you're practicing yoga. And then after you do that pose, what did I have after Pigeon?
Reverse table.
Oh, reverse table. Thank you. I have my assistant today. You can check her out on Instagram, Manjula Yoga. She's awesome. So one last pose that you can try if you're kind of just starting out with yoga on your horse and have done some of the other poses in the first video is your reverse tabletop. So bring your hands right on your horse's hip. You can bring your feet up to his withers on top of his shoulders. And then once your horse is balanced and adjusted underneath you, on an inhale you can press down into your feet and your palms, make sure your fingers are spread nice and wide, and you can begin to lift your hips up towards the sky. Keep your core strong here. Try not to pinch in your lower back. So really use your thighs and your core to lift you up nice and strong. And if it feels okay on your neck, you can then allow your head to drop back. And hold for a few breaths. So really great core strengthener and a nice opening for the shoulders as well. So after you've gone through those poses, it's nice to do Shavasana on your horse. So Shavasana in English is corpse pose, and it's the final pose that you do in a regular yoga practice. If you go to a studio or if you have your own practice at home, you're probably familiar with it. And it's a really nice final relaxation to do with your horse as well. So you'll lie all the way down on your back. And if it pinches your lower back to lie back like this, you can bring your legs a little more forward and it'll be not quite as much of a back bend. But if it feels all right, you can let your legs just hang and then turn your palms up towards the sky. Let your arms hang relaxed by your sides and rest on the very center of the back of your head. You can stay lying down and just let go of any effort with your breath. Once you're in Shavasana, you can breathe naturally, and you want to consciously relax every area of your body. Sometimes when I'm in Shavasana, I will, instead of let go of my breath, since I'm doing it with my horse, I'll match my breathing to his breathing, which can also be a neat experience. So just experiment, play around with it, have fun, and if you're just starting out and not sure how your horse is going to be, it's probably a good idea to have someone hold him, especially for Shavasana, because it's a pretty vulnerable state or position. But it can be super relaxing for you and your horse. So just give it a try, see what you think. And I hope that you've enjoyed this second beginner horse yoga video. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments, and I look forward to making more videos for you soon. So thank you so much, and namaste.